Can I just say, I do not understand why Cameron Brewer has apologised, new National MP, for what was a jocular and offhand remark describing himself as, yay, stale male pale, which our next guest could easily take the description of as well, when in actual fact, the stale pale male remark was used as a pejorative put down prior to the election by Green MP Chloe Swarbrick. She was jibing at stale pale males, and so also was Marama Davidson, the co-leader of the Greens. So when Cameron Brewer ironically said, yay, stale male pales are back on election night as a clear intended jocular reference, why would you feel the need 5 weeks later to apologise? Although, you know, the bit that I just don't get, somebody recorded Cameron Brewer saying that and 5 weeks later released it to the media. And Radio New Zealand decided that this was an almost horrific hanging offence. I'm sorry, I feel a bit like Manuel in Faulty Towers. You just don't know what's going on. You just go, "Keh, keh." Well, I'm going, "Keh, keh," this morning. And maybe he feels like that a bit too, listening to that story. I hope he didn't describe himself as stale male, pale male, even though he is. Welcome our new Member of Parliament for the Waitaki to the show, Miles Anderson. Miles, lovely to have you on, stale, male and pale as you are.
Morning, Michael.
I'm stunned that one of your colleagues would apologise for describing himself that way. It was a joke.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I know.
Did you say anything as appalling as that on your election night victory as party as well too, Miles?
Probably. I don't know. It seems such a long time ago now.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have known anyhow. You woke up with that wonderful headache on the Sunday morning. Good on you too. You had a lot of your family there on the night too, didn't you?
Yes. Had tons of family. I had family actually over from Australia as well, so it was great.
And what was it like? Or did you feel? I mean, you always knew you were going to be the Member of Parliament for Waitaki, but did you have a feeling of, I don't know, excitement, exultation, affirmation? What were the emotions going through on election night?
Relief was one of them.
Oh, really? That it was over? Yeah.
Well, I was quite happy when the Friday night turned up and the campaigning was over, because it's quite exhausting. And so then the election night itself, I guess it was that excitement and what have you. And of course, we had a couple of monitors going there. So one was showing the results coming in from the Waitaki electorate itself.
Yeah.
And the other was showing all the other results coming in from around the country. So it was quite exciting to, once the early votes came in and we had a really good lead, and then watching, so that was great, and then watching around the country as candidates who I'd come to know over the previous, 8 or 9 months, started turning the tide in their electorates. So it was, quite exciting.
Were there any electorates that you looked at on the night and went, wow, I never would have picked that?
Mount Roskill, I think.
Oh,
was
okay.
The one that.
Yeah.
Most because it wasn't even close. Carlos totally wiped the floor, really, with
Michael Wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was clearly being punished not just for being Labor, but also for being Michael Wood.
It would seem so, and obviously Carlos put in a very good campaign up there as well. And it was incredible to watch. And also Banks Peninsula was another one that I was closely watching as well. Yes,
you won that one, did you? I think you did, didn't you? Yes, you did. Yeah, and that's the first time it's gone national since, again, another landslide win in 1990, I think.
Yeah, I think David Carter had it briefly.
Oh,
didn't
that's
he?
right. He did too. Yeah, that's right. He did as well.
96.
Different boundaries, though.
Yeah, and it's MMP, wasn't it? And so since then, it's been Red Sea.
Yeah, it has indeed. Listen, okay, so there you are. It's Sunday. You're having, you're sort of. Well, I assume you're having a bit more quiet on the Sunday. There's your family and things like that, and it all starts to go back to normal. When did you head off to Parliament? Was it on the Monday?
Yeah. So we got up. We were, a whole group of us stayed in Oamaru overnight, and we went and had breakfast and watched the Irish All Black match.
Oh, that's right. That was the next day. Yeah.
Yes, and so that was another bit of excitement, and we finished watching that, and I think it was pretty smartly after that I got a phone call basically saying I was going to be up in Wellington the following day, and details to come, and it was.
So where did you fly out of? Can you fly out of Oamaru, or do you have to fly out of Timaru?
Timaru.
Yeah. Okay.
Timaru.
So you got to drive.
Oamaru's airport no longer a link anymore. It's just a local airport now.
Oh, okay. So you go to Timaru, you go up there, and you head into the National Party caucus room. And I guess the first thing everybody tells you is, because I remember a very similar event myself, is for God's sake, don't talk to the media. Yeah.
Well, just, we weren't told not to talk to the media. We were just told to...
Bloody careful.
Don't say anything that's not true, and what's said in the caucus room stays in the caucus room, as you know.
Yeah.
And of course the media hanging around trying to find out what was being said in the caucus room to see if they could catch any of the new MPs out, I guess.
Yes, and that would be the first thing that a new MP learns, is that the media, they hunt like a pack, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, well, because we were having induction with parliamentary services and the party, I suppose. So parliamentary services were inducting all of the new MPs, and that took up about 2/3 of the time, I suppose, and then a third of the time you were with the party going through induction, and the media, you're quite right, were hanging outside, sort of chasing people down, really.
I know, it's
with a wee piece of paper with people's photographs on them.
Oh, I see. So they got to identify who they're talking to. Listen, the other thing too is, have you been allocated an office in Parliament yet?
No.
Oh, wow. So 5 weeks out from the elections, you still don't have an office in Parliament?
No. So once an announcement, because parliamentary services changes the governing party and the opposition parties from one side of the parliament to the other over a weekend in between elections. So the parliamentary services is obviously waiting to see who's doing what before they move everything, and that'll happen one weekend and everything, and then we'll have offices. And it's not such a bad thing. We've been using the caucus room as offices, and a couple of offices of MPs that have retired have been available for use as well.
Now, you've got a huge electorate, Waitaki. It is monstrous. I don't envy trying to get round that as a constituents MP. I take it that you're not expecting to be named in the coalition cabinet, Miles?
No, not at all. I think you'd have tickets on yourself if you did.
I don't know. Stephen Joyce went straight in. I think he was a list MP, went straight into cabinet from memory. But yeah, you don't think there'll be any of those left-hand calls this time?
I wouldn't have thought so. It's going to be the way it's looking is a number of the cabinet positions obviously are going to go to the coalition partners. So there's going to be a reduced number of cabinet positions for the National Party anyway.
Now, relationships with the ACT candidate, and I don't know, did New Zealand First have a candidate in Waitaki as well?
Yep, they did, but I only saw him at one Meet the Candidate event, and that was in Wanaka, I think.
Right.
It might have been Cromwell. I can't remember now.
Well,
yes.
Because I was going to, I take it that now you're all in the same team, and that where do you, at a local level, given that nationally you are forming this coalition with two other parties, at a local level, will there be some form of cooperation as well?
I'm not sure. Look, I've been in touch with the that candidate, Sean Beamish, who's based down Hawea. Anyway, since the election, and we had a good relationship regardless. Anyway, Michael. So he's reached out, and so yeah, we've been in touch. But I'm not sure what the directive will be, to be honest.
Now, the other thing is the Labour candidate, it was an odd selection. They chose Ethan Rail, who was last year, I think, the head boy of Waitaki Boys High School. He's left, as I understand. He's moved to Wellington.
Oh, is that right? I don't know. Look, I suspected that there would have been a deal done where if he stood in the electorate, they were going to give him a job in
Parliament.
So,
yeah,
that would surprise me, put it that way.
Yeah.